I don't even know what to say. I think we should say a prayer. All I can say is, Father, forgive us. Literally, that's all I can say. Father, forgive us. That's it. I don't even know. I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes I sit down and I think, why is there so many of us who are still single? And then I watch programs like this and I feel like, wow. By the way, what I do on TikTok is nothing bad, but, you know, we all pray, but it just doesn't fall in line with what you're doing at church. Listen. Pow, 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 pow. Yo, I have to rewind this. I don't know this guy's name, but that response that he just gave was perfect. Right, we have another Pop the Balloon Congo. I'm gonna do my best to do a translation. And if you haven't liked any of my videos yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure you press the like button. And if it's your first time seeing this face, make sure you subscribe as well. Now, I haven't watched this one yet, so we're gonna go through it. And, you know, as usual, I'm gonna skip through. I'm gonna go through the best bits and just, you know, put in my input. And hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Now let's get on with this video.
Bonjour. Oeza punayo. Tokoki kobanda na kombo nayo?
Wa Moïse Mabika.
Moïse ozali na âge nini?
On a 32 ans.
O salaka nini na vie?
Bon, en fait, na chauffeur.
Nka na temps libre nayo o pasakango kosala makambo nini?
Already everyone's popped because he's a driver. What's wrong with being a driver? I don't get it. What's wrong with being a driver? Must be something that I'm missing.
Impolitesse.
Doesn't like. Man said along in my bed.
En tout cas. Ouais.
Okay.
You don't want no ugly girl.
To ya awa to tuna pourquoi ba si ba pasu ba Ballon na bango. To koki kozwa kombo na yo na âge.
Women.
Maëlys Lomalisa, j'ai 22 ans.
O pasu Ballon no kwani?
Bon, on a passé Ballon pour Azamukie.
She's saying it's too thin, it's too slim, and he's short as well. But he looks taller than you though.
Esalike apasola Ballon na yo me azali baguna yo?
Bon, déjà non, hein. Baguna ngate. En tout cas, couleur vraiment non. Non.
Ka wana mtesali baguna ote?
Non.
Okay.
He said no because of her color. I think the shade of black. I don't know. Like, obviously he's dark skinned, and I've heard this thing where dark skinned people don't really want to be with, you know, people of the same shade. I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard from many people. And it's really down to the type of children that they're going to have. You know, they don't want dark-skinned children. And it's just like, do you know how insane that sounds? Like, when we actually think about it, you're going to love your child. You're supposed to love your child regardless of the shade of the color of their skin, you know. And obviously he's a dark-skinned man. And he's saying, obviously, the shade, yeah, it's not my type. Do you get it? And I've got to do a bit of research on this because I'm hearing it a lot. So I've got to do a bit of research on the choices that we make. It's all influence. I feel personally we were influenced to make certain decisions. And I feel like this thing where it comes to like the type of shade your partner has to be, I feel like it's come from some type of influence along the history.
Do you want to say proper kapuna awa? Ouais.
Mama, ozongi sila ilu kambuko, ayo kama kambalo abi suki munoko.
En fait, azaba guna ngati na omoni no Obinini. Não, ele cheza UP.
This guy's giving drivers a very bad name. He's giving drivers a bad name because how are you talking about the girl's hair? She's made sure she's brushed it, you know, slipped back. She's combed it all the way back. Added a little ponytail in the back. And you're talking about how her hair don't look well maintained. This is insane. Like, do you know the amount of people that this driver probably sees in a day that haven't probably brushed their hair properly? And you got a woman here that's, I don't know, I don't really see much wrong with her. But yeah, it might just be me anyway. You lot let me know what you lot think.
Nesse kuluna, nesse chegue. En fait, Aza élégante. Aza pe
She's saying he's
makais.
not elegant. He's very dark.
En tout cas, non.
He doesn't seem honest.
Ok, merci. Oh, Shelo,
Bon, ça passe les venant ballon à Kamoya. Pour yo bino robo ya mobile wa ngana nzela. Robo linga bina ndo paso elangon.
He's saying someone like you could never refuse someone like me.
Oza mutu mo boye. Oza rebelle, en tout
Your
cas.
face just looks like
Ya
a
no
rebel.
jalousie
Baza jaloux na yo Moïse.
Wawa.
Kombo na yo na âge?
Kombo na nga Sierra Kapinga, 25 ans.
Sarah, opasoli Ballon mpona ndeko Moïse mpona nini?
Apasoli Ballon parce qu'il y a le quoi li banque. Pe aza très impoli. Aza impoli, en plus yo finga bato basete mais yem ko asalite.
She's saying he's rude
d'abord
and he's
finga
calling
bato
other people rude.
ba loko beza kami kanga me on amine wana voilà, ba jeune wana parce que pour finga bato salite bon te quand même, c'est pas respect.
Yo. They turned it up this episode. I'm not gonna lie. They really turned it up this episode. Like the first, like not even the first three females, but him, even himself. Everyone's been extremely rude. And I feel like they just, for the females, they just feeded them back the energy that he fed them. So it is what it is. But she's basically saying like, look at the plaque on your teeth before you even talk about other people. You gotta sort that out. And I feel like it's gonna be like this till the end, all the way for him, because he already gave out that energy at the start, like calling people, you know, just speaking away in the manner that he spoke. You know, he already triggered people, and it's like you said things that you didn't even need to say. So I feel like from now onwards, all the females are just they're already popped. I think all of them already popped. So I feel like from now on, everyone's just gonna start getting onto him. And I don't even blame them because you asked for it. You gave out that energy. So, boy.
Merci.
Merci. Ndeko Moïse, est-ce que ndeko Sarah azali bagu ya basi oyo basepisaka yo?
No.
Bon, en tout cas, comme on a Sarah boye, on a combat bien hein, Sarah, mais mutu vraiment non. Premièrement, que sinon âge, 25 ans on est à yété, on est longnete. Et puis ba chaîne na makolo azambua ou comment bon.
Yo, I was not ready for this. I was not ready for this episode. Hold on, let me read the subtitles because I don't want to get this wrong. What I just heard, I don't want to get it wrong, yeah? Because it seemed like I did not expect this, you know? So let me see. She has on chains on her ankle. Is she a dog? That's exactly what I was going to say. He's basically calling her a dog. And he even said earlier, he said that face for the age that she said, I think it was 25. He said that age doesn't even suit her. I think she's lying because that face doesn't suit her age. And then he went forward to calling her a dog because she got chains on her ankles. This is mental. I think some people are coming on here, they're not even looking for someone, because even someone that's supposed to be your future wife, if she just watches this and sees this, she might like the way you look, but she's hearing some of the things that's coming out your mouth. It's like, yeah, I'm going to just leave this one out. I'm going to sit this one out because this is mental.
Déjà non. Wawa.
Non, mais bon, ngapi na ko lingo te po na mo na yo oza très impoli. Oza ba jara mibali oyo.
She said, I wouldn't even like you because you seem like...
Yete.
Okay, bon,
Yeah,
merci.
she said you seem like the type that just disses females.
Kombo na yo na âge?
Kombo nanga Davina Kuba, naza na 23 ans.
Davina, opasoli Ballon na yo po na ndeko Moïse po na nini?
Bon, premièrement, na pasoli Ballon parce que aza mukusi. Déjà nga na leki talon, mais so na kiti, toza taille moko. Nga na linga mobali aza un peu moulaï,
she likes a taller man.
Et puis, chauffeur, nazala vraiment la confiance na bango te bazaka sérieux te. Bazala pe la moi si mon côté. Mais sinon, couleur de peau, j'aime bien.
She said obviously she don't trust drivers and they normally have more than one woman. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. But that's the reason that they gave. That's probably why a lot of them popped. Because for some reason, they feel like they can't trust drivers, you know. I don't know what's worse, whether you're a musician or a driver. So far, those are the ones that are like no-go for most women. And on the last episode, one of the women popped because the guy was a footballer. So I don't know, man. Like, these females get really picky when it comes to what you do in life, you know?
Mais, détail wanandi, ça manque.
Ok, merci. Et bon, on yo Moïse, Azali, ba jar ya basi o basi pisakayo.
Bon, déjà, taille, c'est bon, taille S. L'Hollandais complexe, hein. Pour le ça, la passe sur la ballon, c'est complexe. Pour y avoir passe sur la ballon, il bosse en matin. Tout le monde là vraiment, il y a un donc, déjà, et puis Longi.
There's nothing wrong with being confident, you know, being a confident man that, you know your worth and you're like, yeah, this is me, this is my worth. And I can get girls, I can get women. Cool. But I'm not gonna lie, this guy's energy, the way he's moving, it's like some of the things he's saying about how, yeah, someone like me, you can never pop in front of someone like me. You can never, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, just, you know, just calm down. Like, calm down. You know, one thing we have to understand as men is women have a lot of choices. Loads of women got loads of choices. In this year and age, they have choices, you know, especially when it comes to men who are earning a lot. You know, that's just what it is. And when you're approaching them with this sort of energy, like, you can never do that. Nah, yeah, nah, just leave that. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially on this show, just leave it, because it just comes out as, you know, you've just got too much. You're too egoistic, if that's a word, and you're just too prideful, you know. And you just got to let that go, because at the end of the day, all of the women, I'm sure, they've popped, you know. So that just says something about your energy and your aura from when you stepped in the room. So I feel like it's good to be confident, but don't be too overconfident, you know, because it makes you look bad. That's just what I got to say.
À convaincre ngati. Ouais, donc, yete. Puis manza kana makolo. On dirait mo mutati verniango. Donc, yete quoi.
Bon, déjà.
I give up. I don't know what to do with these Congolese men. Like, I actually get it now. Like, I actually get it. Before I didn't get it, why, like, most women, they'll stay away from Congolese men. But just the first person that's come in, stepped in this room, from looking at that already, from analysing this whole thing and the last episode, I'm seeing that Congolese men, there's a lot of work that we have to do, that we need to do. It's like we're still living as if it was like 20, 30 years ago. You know, it's mad. It's literally like our mindset is as if it's still 20, 30 years ago. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is just, it's not on. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully someone right comes through that's gonna, you know, approach these ladies and talk to them in a good manner, because this, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bad representation of Congolese men, because I'm Congolese as well, but I just feel like I just can't relate to this, because some of the things that's coming out of his mouth and the way he's carrying himself, this is why loads of women are put off when it comes to Congolese men, and I actually see it. It's terrible.
elobeli na yo déjà nayebi te. Je pense même pas qu'on trouve peut moi si à critère na yo en tout cas parce que tu es très impoli. Tu es très impoli. Donc ça ne marchera pas. Je pense pas en tout cas que ozwa ba critère ozo luka a.
Donc on l'appelle jalousie, ça le bien.
Non.
Okay.
Ozo mobali nga moi sinon que lo jalousie na
C'est
nini.
jalousie te, am so so se pe na ngai yo mona ra so.
Non.
Nobody's jealous of you. Nobody wants to be you. Trust me. Like, the way my man's moving and he's talking about, you know, don't be jealous and things like that. Nobody's jealous of you. First of all, none of these women are jealous of you. They've all popped. They don't want nothing to do with you. And secondly, he's one of them people that just think, yeah, if you don't like the way I'm moving, then you're jealous. No. Nobody's jealous of you. You're literally just carrying yourself in a way that nobody wants to be you and nobody wants to be with you. You know? And that's a mad space to be in.
Jenny, opasuli Ballon pona ndeko Moïse Branin.
Jenny.
Na pasol parce que nalinga ba chauffeur te bazala no ben poli nda uti omanke ba fi musu awa babage be na maboko na yebi te so eza ya nini donc taille nepe.
She's saying too many rings on his hands. He's short and he's a driver and he's rude.
Merci. Azaba gunayo.
Tuka ani baguna ngate abaguna ngata biema na nanu.
Ne lo ba yanke.
Abaguna ngate mona biema na.
Saying he sounds like a roadman, ghetto. The way he's acting is like he just came out fresh from driving from his job. Like, he literally just left work and he went straight to this place, because you gotta understand, drivers as well, they go through a lot of stress, you know, dealing with the public, dealing with people. So it's as if he's just not happy. It's just coming across as if he's just not happy with life, and he just hates his job, you know, hates the people that he has to deal with. And when it comes to, you know, looking for someone that he can be with, he's carrying on the traits from his workplace into, you know, his relationship sort of thing. When he's looking for someone to be in a relationship with, he needs to learn to separate work, you know, and, you know, with his relationship, because to me, the energy that's coming out from him is like he's just seeing everyone the same. Like, he's literally just seeing, he sees so many people on a day-to-day basis, probably, that, you know, the public, that now he's standing in front of all these women and he's just seeing them as, they probably remind him of one of his passengers that he has to deal with on a weekly basis. So he just comes across that, yeah, man, he's just coming across very toxic, and he's just someone that just is not content with life, you know, and it's, you know, it's showing.
Premièrement, si na chaussure na ye, chaussure non nzeke zo koke pe bien te. Zomona, eza gonflé le bosso. Donc chaussure ne le bosso eza gonflé.
Très impoli.
Donc ekoki.
Oyebi yango te yango nde elata makilelo.
Donc c'est donc ya pena yeti.
Ketcho lokwa bato basala na station.
Oh.
Ngala ti bas.
I don't even know what to say. I think we should say a prayer. I'm speechless. She just said, your shoes look like someone that works in a station. And he was just basically dissing her as well about her footwear. I don't think there's salvation for my Congolese people. Like, all I can say is, Father, forgive us. Literally, that's all I can say. Father, forgive us. That's it.
Est-ce que c'est un nouveau modèle, ba collection qui est là?
Ok, bon, aza kaka jaloux. Ok, kaka
jaloux.
Alinga mibala ba locks, yaza na locks te. Aza
She likes people with hair.
Ki makasi pe mukuse donc alinga mbala mbinga, ulai quoi. Mais teinture na ye bois noir pas mal ça va.
She likes his kid
Aza pe
tone.
mpoli. Azo manquer ba
He's
fille.
rude. You can't even disagree with that one.
Na chauffeur, dans la boîte dans
And he's a
chauffeur
driver.
na sumba la chauffeur te. Pour ba chauffeur ba
Her baby father's a driver.
poli, ba manka ka ba tout partout. Donc,
She said drivers are just rude.
Ballon.
Wano pas mal. Utonda na yo, oui.
You're saying you're well built. You're fit.
Mais nini? Exacte.
En tout cas, sandal wana yango
Ela
te.
tamaka Zara. Oh, looking at my
The guy's talking about the sandals. She's saying you're looking very hard.
Sandalo ya Zara.
There's nothing wrong
Sandal wana
with
yango
you.
te.
Zara, oye bien ote.
Et puis, aza âge avancé, aza fille mère.
Saying
nanga
she's
déjà
old.
isimba te.
Ah, je pense que
She's a mother.
26 ans.
Te, loko si
She's
âge wana.
26
Âge wana eza yo te.
Oh, he's saying you're lying about your age.
Donc, de to kwa minene, bo to kwa mikolo. Bino
Parce qu'on a
batamikie
vu,
bozo
Boya,
ba bébé.
ba réponse nanga ezo choqué pourquoi.
She's saying what? Because I'm big, I'm
On
thick.
peut répondre
You
aux
think
questions
I'm
sur
old?
question ni
Older
kaya
than
ngo. Pour maman
26.
beze ngote. Parce que bi sandal les
And
habits.
because you lot are
C'est pour nanga
slim,
sandal
you're
oko
thin.
bima nanga na ulata yango te.
All of a sudden you feel like because
Azali
of that you're
baguna
younger.
yote.
En tout cas, bagu nanga te.
Ok, problème ezate. To le kaboye kasi. Merci. To ya boye. To ko kozwa kombo na yo na âge?
Comme on a Christiane Mobanza, j'ai 25 ans d'âge.
Merci. O pasi li ballon po anini.
Na passé le ballon nanga pour na linga mbali ya mikolo. Basuga d'âge.
Ozana âge
She
ni
likes
soso.
older men.
29 ans.
Yo
Sugar
siko
daddies.
ingi mikolo kele kawana.
Oui.
Bamikolo azoluka wana baza ba père marié hein. Donc nzira zo ba père abatu. Donc eleka te.
Oza ba père abat.
You know, you got to know what you want in a sense of know what you don't want and tell us what you don't want. You know, when Diamond asked him, you know, what are the type of things that you don't like in a woman, you know, and he just said, you know, it is what it is. Like, for now, it's good, it's all right. And, you know, there was no, by default, so the lady's basically saying, like, look, we need to hear what you don't like. Do you get what I'm saying? So you can tell us. And I don't know. It's like, I feel like he tried to play it safe because she was like the only one with a balloon left at a point where he had to speak about the sort of things that he doesn't like in a woman. And he was just trying to be very careful because this is just what it is these days. Anything we say these days is as if our sisters have a problem with it. So I think a lot of men are just learning to just keep our mouth shut, and that's kind of what he did, and he tried to play it safe. But obviously she still wanted to hear what you don't like. Most of the women that want to hear what you don't like, you know, they're not trying to hear it to understand and not be like that, try and not be like that, try not to do it. They just want to hear it just so they know that, yeah, I'm staying away from you, because they might take it as you're someone who's over controlling. So I feel like this guy was just like, you know what, I'm not even trying to say anything because whatever I say, they're not going to like it anyway. You know, let me just keep my mouth shut. But in the end, this is where it got him.
Merci. Aza baguna yo?
Ça n'est pas mal, mais sauf qu'il y a un tatunde baleka te.
Ozana tattoo? Kombo na yo na âge?
He's not feeling the tattoo.
Naza na 23 ans.
Merci. O pasi li ballon po anini.
Bon, na pasoli ballon nanga. Aza na ye pas mal, mais nga na linga mibala mikuse te. Pe aza na ye major nanga ite, mais aza na ye bien pour na batu mususu.
Na kompa pe mukusa wote ola tipe batalon te mama.
Même ça.
People are saying he's short, and from looking at this camera angle, it seems as if he's the same height as Diamond, and Diamond is kind of tall for a female. I don't know, maybe because of the heels that she's wearing, but he doesn't seem short. He seems about average height. So imagine what an actual short person, the sort of backlash that they receive when they try to pursue a woman. They're just accusing certain people of being short for them. And it's like, no, that's an average height. It's not a short guy. Like, it really isn't a short guy. And we need to stop messing around with people's feelings and calling them short and things like that. And it's like, what do you want? One of the things that I said to one of my mates the other day is that, go back to the Bible, because they didn't mention the Bible. That's the only reason why I mentioned in the Bible, right? Going back to the Bible, obviously, in the Old Testament, when it mentions, obviously, the giants, the fallen angels, sleeping with, the daughters of man, and then the begotten giants, they had all these weird creatures and, half man, half this, and they had giants, and then obviously we're coming up to the times where obviously all this dark matter and all these evil spirits are about to be released, and you're going to start to see, including with AI, you're going to start to see abnormal human beings, things, creatures that are not human, and most of them, they're going to be at a certain height, they're going to be tall, they're going to be giants. And most of these women that are looking for men who are a specific height, because remember, right now, a lot of men are getting turned down because, to me, they seem like an average height, but to the women, they seem like they're short because of the high heels that they're wearing, right? So these women are going to come across giants, that are not human. Most of these creatures and these AIs and all of these things that we're going to start seeing that are not human beings, they're going to be set at a certain height. And most of these women, modern day women, are going to be falling for these guys, And that is the trick, because I'm seeing so many men getting turned down and they're literally average height, but women are saying they're short. So soon, don't worry, you lot are going to get exactly what you asked for, and they're going to be, something from the dark realm, and you lot are going to fall in love with them, and so foolishly as well. Obviously, it's just your preference. It's okay to not want a man who's probably short in your eyes, but I don't feel like it's okay to not want a man based on the height against your heels. Like, if you're someone that likes to wear 6-inch heels, you're then comparing a man to how tall you are when you're wearing them heels. I think that's not fair, because you're adding on something, and the man is not adding on anything. It's just normal.
Okay. Aza bagunayo?
Comment on on est pas mal, mais sauf que moi complexité, il y a autour de la ballon, mais à la ligne fort, on est à
Oleli fort.
Bon,
Man
je sais
says
pas.
she's really feeling them.
Nga na lobi oyo na kokaki koloba en tout cas, mais si aza mobali ya bagenre na ngati en fait.
Ok, pour
So
eux,
he's
mais
not my
tous
type.
les caboyers.
na pasoli parce que toza age mo mais aza kitoko donc
He's
na pasoli
nice,
ka po toza age moko.
but the age,
Jenny
we're both
Zeranan.
the same age.
Osepe na ye. Aza kitoko. Mais kaka âge.
Oui.
I really do not understand. I understand maybe younger than you might feel like, all right, the compatibility, in terms of sharing your experience with a person, you might feel like they're a bit inexperienced if they're younger than you. But if they're as old as you, then it just depends on their mindset, really. So, I don't know, man. That is crazy.
Jenny. Ok, Zelana. Aza bagunayo?
Ouais,
Yeah.
Jenny, on est pas mal, mais sauf que
There's nothing.
on est pas mal, mais sauf que non, arranger comme moi contrairement et puis voilà. Merci.
There's
Namoni
nothing.
okomi siko koluka biloko makasi.
This is so sad to watch that Jenny is actually his type and he's actually her type, but she's saying obviously he he's the same age as me. And come on now. Come on. Like, this is sad to watch. And even him, he seems so disappointed as well that she popped. Because it's like, come on, what are we actually doing here? Like, what's going on? How can you pop someone that's at the same age as you and you actually like, they fit everything else, and it's just because they're the same age as you? This is insane.
Bilamba neza mabeta?
Bon, ça dépend, mais pas mal. Merci.
Sad to
Elo ni
watch.
nango na bilamba na ye oyo esepelisi yo te.
Non, juste que nalingaka moi si ala tani fiske moi kubo makore.
Clothes she can always change.
Katafumbwa na biso na famille na biso on a yine ko présenter boye et les quartiers.
He's saying
Yeni,
his
ola
family
taboy chaque
need to
jour?
be a bit more presentable.
Non, elle a taboité.
But when it comes to clothes, obviously she can always change. That's minor. Like, that's not. Both of them, I feel like both of them, they're just missing out. Like, this is why we're single. This is why we reach these ages and so many of us are still single, because we're so picky. We're so picky. Like, that's not bad. It's worse if she's looking too sexy, too revealing, but she's just looking normal. Like, like, this is why we're single. It's mad. We're suffering. It's us. We do it to ourselves. It's crazy. He's saying she got too much makeup.
Ola ta maquillage chaque jour?
Non, c'est ma première fois.
Nalinga naturel.
She said it's her first time wearing makeup. Obviously, it's not her first time wearing makeup, but I feel like she's just trying to say basically what she means is she don't wear makeup every day, and because of this sort of environment, she went out and got her makeup done. Or maybe she did it herself, and he's basically just saying like, look, this is way too much makeup. And I get it, because for someone, if they don't often put on makeup, then and they end up doing it themselves, then obviously, practice make perfect in a way. So she's probably just practicing on herself, and maybe she's just not there yet. And that's what he's actually talking about, where there's too much makeup. And she's actually saying, look, I don't really wear makeup all the time. And maybe she tried it out herself and it just didn't work. Maybe it's that.
Debine ramabe, debine. So debiga pas au côté lo rabalinga ngote silis. On va disqualifier debiga. Donc c'est un peu ça.
Ok, merci.
Come on, bro, man. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. She's trying. Do you know what I'm saying? Makeup, decorations, theme, all of that stuff. When it comes to women's makeup, I've realized that obviously it takes time until they get it right, along with anything in life. The more you do it, the more you try, especially if you're working on it yourself, you're working on yourself and she's doing it on herself, then she's probably not going to get it right the first few times. If she's telling you that, you know what, I don't really wear makeup, then you got to take it as, you know what, she's trying and she's not really a person who always wears makeup. And that's a good thing. Don't put her down because of that. That's just how I feel anyway.
Veste nalinga.
Et bon, yo la taba veste chaque jour?
Bon,
she says she don't like suits.
Relax dans salière. Ils ont chaque jour terre, bah jour sur la gondo, kilote, gomano. Ah ouais.
Aza baguna yo?
She said you seem like someone who wears a suit all the time.
Oh, ça n'est pas mal, mais dans un angande, bon.
She's not bad.
I look like
I'm short, but she's short. And I ain't feeling that. She's not feeling the suit.
Po nini?
Po ena sepela na unkate ngamono nalinga unte umbali pe fala tonkate chemise c'est mieux.
She prefers shirts, but not really a full suit. And she's calling them short as well. Okay.
Oh, kansanin.
So it's all about the children. You know, she's basically saying, you seem short, I'm short. If we both have children, they're gonna be short.
Bonjour, mariage, na wizande.
Mariage, ça autre chose. Bon, mariage, faut.
Au pays, c'est festé.
Nalinga ya veste te
C'est
papa.
tout bella. Era
Boy,
ngoyo.
nalinga
Ugata
She don't
chance.
like vests. She don't like suits.
Bonjour. Oyeza po na yo. To koki kozwa kombo na yo?
Another man
Comme on
in a
engage
suit.
non. Respect.
Man
Ça, c'est
said
primordial
respect and
parce
she
que
popped.
sans le respect et une bonne éducation, c'est tout.
Ok, bien.
I thought that's the minimal you can ask for.
Kuti.
Respect.
Donc,
Na nga et aussi mbaté parce que ça déjà moi mon nini nga na
She's a bit big as well. She's a bit thick.
Moi comme moi si moi na mi moula mi balé na tandi madame Rosala. Il était.
He wants a slim
bana
thing.
bango mwa muke ale ndenge bozo kende wana fungwa minde.
Moi mi sur article.
Oh, okay. He's
Merci.
saying basically,
Merci.
he likes them mads, he likes them slim, so that later on, obviously, when they're together and that, she can open up, she can be a bit thick. You know, there's a bit of space, there's a bit of room for her to get thick, but he doesn't want her to start off being thick already before he meets her. You learn something new every day, I guess.
Tokende boy. Kombo na yo na Ash?
Sierra Kapinga, 25 ans.
O pasuli balo no po nini?
Pasoli bala na mpona sepe na matoi na ete.
O sepeli na matoi na yete.
Na ye.
I don't even know. I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes I sit down and I think, why is there so many of us who are still single? And then I watch programs like this and I feel like, wow, like this is why she just said that she don't like him. She's not feeling him because of the way his ears are. His ears. Like, what are you going to do with his ears? We have ears to listen. Obviously, if you've got like mad big ears like Dumbo and that, I get it. But man, his ears. God gave us ears just to hear, to listen. Like, what are you going to do with his ears? You're going to be tickling his ears and you want him a certain shape. Like, I don't get it. Like, that's...
Forme mutune. Excusez-moi. Sepe na ngote. Façon kaya
She's even laughing.
Donc, tangu omoni eloka liboso moni matoi nena forme ya mutu. Ok, merci. Aza bagu na yo?
Jamais.
Jamais.
Et jamais. Bah si, voilà, t'as raboué. En tout cas, si ma pantalon mouké, ma colo, non, ça marche pas.
Ok, merci.
Au besoin, entre nous, les garçons, on s'est dit, et c'est pas piné, ça bien. Ça marche pas.
D'accord. Ngape matoi non de sepe singate poto bota bana na ebiso na ebite matoi ezande.
Oui, c'est ça, c'est cool.
She just basically say we're both gonna have children and I don't know how the ears are gonna be
Nicolas
looking.
ende sali azala bachar
Non,
noté.
ma colo, en tout cas, ça marche pas.
And he's talking about her legs.
Merci.
He's saying them legs there, yeah,
Papineza
it's not
malamu
gonna
te.
work.
Ok. Toya boy, kombo na yo na Ash?
Kombo nanga Davina Kuba, je 23 ans.
This is what I was
Davina, o
saying.
pasuli balo na opo nini?
Bon, premièrement, n'a pas soli ballon nanga parce que na sepeli na morphologie na été. Et deuxièmement, azomona naza un peu mibali bazalaka trop exigeant et tout. Nga mibali a trop exigeant en tout cas.
She said it seems like he's too controlling.
Lobanga lingala, comme ça na yoka yo bien.
Azomona naza ba genre mibali yo, ba imposaka basi en fait. Nga na linga mibali ya bonté. Parce
The way he
que
speaks proves it.
Oui, dans tout ce qu'il y a l'homme qui wana, en tout cas, nanga est simati.
She's saying everything that you said doesn't
on
suit.
change répété parce que l'ingana za bon.
And he's not going to be able to change me because I like to be the way I am.
Parce que souvent on dit l'amour n'a pas d'âge. Mais il y a l'ingascoba.
This is insane. He's 25 and she's 22. And she's saying that she's not feeling him because of his age. And I think because she wants older men, older than 25. And it's like, what? That's literally 3 years. I feel like this is down to them dating apps, you know, where you get to pick a specific age that you actually want. And I think because of things like that, it's just made these certain people delusional. Like, you'd say you want a man that's taller than you, he's taller than you. Black man, Congolese, there he is right there. She might like a slim man, there he is right there, speaks properly, you know, he's polite, there he is right there. And then you're talking about you want an older man, there he is right there. And you got an issue with him being 3 years older than you. When the whole AI thing comes out where you can actually build the sort of partner, the exact partner that you're looking for, the age, the height, the skin complexion, skin tone, all of them sort of things there, these people will definitely, you know, be included with amongst the list of the waiting list of people who are willing to pay thousands for an AI partner, because now you're just being ridiculous. Like, they're going on like they got so much time in the world to find their perfect man. Well, good luck.
napasali Ballon nanga po tozani age moko 25 ans pe aza étudiant aotanga na
Same age.
apesa ton nyonso na classe anano na ton te ya koluka mbongo etuno te
nalukaka deja mbongo.
There you go.
Voilà,
She's
25 ans
saying
déjà
he's not gonna have
esimba
time to
te
look
pe
for
étudiant
money
déjà esimba déjà te
because he's a student.
pe
But he's
aza
saying, look, I'm already searching for
commissionnaire non
peace.
C'est
tolobi
ça, oui.
I'm already hustling.
esimba te alinga bacommissionnaire te baza bavoi lokuta
bakosakosa yo déjà.
She's saying commission
akosakosanga
is
te me soki oluka ndako nde façon wakosa yo ondima te sikoyo yo mobali
alive.
na oyo biso eza ya sérieux toza na agence ya monene oyo biso eza ya bamoin sérieux te.
He's saying that no, I work for a serious agency.
Ok, merci. Ebongo mpo na yo ye azali mutu soki omoni okoki ozwa mwa ntan osola na ye
te
mpo ani te.
d'abord aza na taille ya mabe, aza na se mokie, likolo eza monene, faux taille.
She's bigger.
Baba mibali tolingaka
Her
basi
top
oyo
half is
bazalaka
bigger than the
aza
bottom
likolo na
half.
moke epuis na
You
se
ain't feeling
ja
it.
afungwama mwa ndambo, c'est
majorité
ça en
yango
fait.
bokutana na basi ya mabe basi balingaka mwasi oyo aza na motu balingaka mwasi te taille to kitoko te non balingaka mwasi oyo motu ezosala voilà
En fait eloko oyo atiraka nga liboso eza nao kitoko. Et puis par après na yo
She's saying
découvrir ce que
guys normally like women with a
nalobaki
good
yango
head.
awa nalingaka d'abord premièrement kitoko.
But he's saying, nah, I'd rather you look nice first.
Merci. Toleka boye. Kombo na yo na age?
Kombo na ngai Davina Kuba, j'ai 23 ans.
Merci. Opasuli Ballon mpo ani?
Bon, napasoli Ballon na nga. Bon, nalingaka mibali ya pembe te. Ye aza un peu donc tant na ye j'aime pas.
She don't like his skin complexion, saying that how he looks a bit light. Why am I even doing this? Seriously. Sometimes I sit back and I think, what am I doing? Like, do you lot actually, is this helping anyone out there? Because I'd rather not watch these sort of programs, these sort of shows, because it's just like, it's not edifying me in any way. I'd rather spend 4 or 5 hours, you know, learning about history and, you know, just doing my studies rather than looking through this entertainment stuff and trying to post something that, you know, that's going to get picked up in their algorithms. Because, but to me, this is just, it's insane. Like, I don't understand it. They're out there looking for people, you know, potentially who they'll end up marrying. And people's worrying about skin complexions and things like that. And it's just like, come on. Like, you don't even know what type of skin tone your child's gonna be, you know, depending on who you're with. You don't really, yeah, you might have an idea, but you don't really have a say in what's gonna come out. And it's like everyone's just worrying about the skin tone thing. Like, come on, man.
habillement, moi j'aime un peu bateau, un peu stylé et tout.
She likes a bit of
Mais Azan n'est
stylish,
pas mal, mais
fashionish.
juste couleur
You know, men
de
who
peau,
dress a
j'aime
bit more
pas.
stylish. That's what she's on.
Oui, Azan teint clair, il y a
She said he's light skin.
Mouindo, moulaï, un peu musclé. Moi
Tall and a bit
stylé,
muscly,
quoi.
that's what she likes.
Déjà, mon bail, on a trop pantalon, tissu, chemise, bon.
She ain't really feeling the whole casual, you know, shirt with trousers. Flex.
Na paso bala parce que ada petit frère na ada mukolo ni différence à 4 très belé donc na ko
She's
linga
saying he's like a little bro to me.
Kotala boenga aleki na kitoko.
ola si
Parce que nga so bachenga ba
ba
maquillage.
sokola ngelo
Bachenga ba
I think it's come to a point where he's just had enough. He's just had enough, you know. The females, all the rest of the females are just chatting, you know, saying about his skin complexion and all of this and that. I feel like he's just had enough and he's just decided to attack Jenny in it. He's basically saying that, look, that makeup, I feel like I'm better looking than her. You know, if you take off her makeup, I'm pretty sure I'm better looking than her. Jenny's just like, listen, stop chatting. He's saying, take off the hair, take off the makeup. I look better than you.
Kota boenga na oleki na kitoko. Menaza mbali.
ada petit frère na
She's saying he's my little bro.
L'amour n'a pas d'âge, maman.
4 até
Because of his age.
L'amour n'a pas d'âge.
She's saying 4 years is enough. So far we got age, and then we got the skin complexion. And the age, the difference in age that I've heard so far, the maximum is 4 years that I've heard. That's not even a lot. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe these women are actually looking for sugar daddies. He's not feeling that shade.
Taille eza te, maman.
Taille bien. Taille nga bien te. Na baluko mona nga bien ke na taille bien.
Baluka na taille. Oza na taille te.
Na
Oza.
He just said, like, listen, she's not it. The shape, the structure, he's not feeling it. My girl's like, listen, I've got it. Do you want me to turn around, spin around so you can see? So with her, it's all about, even the way she's wearing her shirt, I can just tell it's all about what she's got behind. You know, so many fellas have probably gassed her up about her backside that she feels as if just because she's got, you know, a thick behind, then every man's going to be wanting that. And he's basically saying, like, listen, this is not it for me. She's like, yeah, if I spin round, the joke, the funny thing is he even said, like, listen, spin round, I'm going to even have a look anyway. But you're still not my type.
Ngai siko na prefera basi ya minene te. Yesu
Nga
akoti
pe na prefera mibala boye te.
You're saying you're too big.
Nga bo mibala boye eloko te.
Balalaka trop.
Surtout mibala boye.
Amona aza naïve
Saying
makasi.
big things, they sleep too much.
Mibala boye ba wa.
Amona alalaka trop.
Ba chemise ya ba ni
They say you look like you sleep a lot.
Mobile faut astuler.
Madame.
You're not responsible.
Non, mais tenir des villes là t'as chaque jour te maman. Ils en a ba jour nango.
Passer les ballons no point.
Same thing.
voilà à côté dépenses voilà lobby moi s'il faut pas ça dépense et tout moi j'aime pas tous en Europe nous sommes des Africains il faut mon bal doit soit moi si.
Fair enough. She's basically saying that obviously she popped when he's saying that he wants a woman who can split the bills with him, innit? She's saying that we're not in Europe, we're in Africa. Cool. That's you know what? All of that makes so much sense. It's perfect. But are you going to play the role of a housewife, of a wife, you know, if you want the man to play the role of someone who is settling all the bills? Are you ready to play the role of being a submissive wife?
Comment mi wapi?
Comment moi papa on est des Africains on a tous un poteau.
Donc you lingo vanda no kana nda kola la ba.
Je vais travailler même bon là on partager là tout 5 tout 5 points.
There you go. She's basically saying, yeah, no, he's teasing her. He's saying, look, you're just gonna be chilling at home and this, that. She goes, no, I'm not gonna be chilling at home. I'm gonna be out there working, but my money is my money and your money, we're gonna split it. And there you go.
Mais yo posa mon
Non,
tu
non,
peux
moi, il faut
travailler
que
aussi.
Je vais travailler, mais mon argent, c'est mon argent.
She's gonna
Mon
work,
argent,
but
c'est
she'll
la
have her
famille.
own
Donc
money.
mbongo na
Your
yo
one,
et
we're
au
gonna
kangamaka na
spend it.
push
Et
na
ça, il y
yo.
a ceux qui n'ont coaché, ils ont obligation, so on tient la volonté.
Run
Oui.
away.
Comment ça?
Run a mile.
Comment
Donc
ça?
to balanaka tozaka
Don't even
uni
argue
Na
with
toza
these
commune,
ones.
bakoma
moko.
yango.
Bon, avant zela nanu. Bo zela nanu. Jojo.
Oui maman.
Azali baguna yo.
Ke
No,
aza baguna ngati. Na
Nini
mkosi.
ezosala
that's
ye
it.
baguna yo te.
Leave it as
D'abord
that.
na baki munene na linga mwasa munene te.
Hey.
Et puis yé a afirmant que non aligné dépense. Ce qui veut dire que non à travers raté andola la mingi na ndako. Ba pongi ebele trop. So basi ya boye ngai penda esimba te.
Simba te, hein? Ok, merci. Toya awa kasi Jojo. To tikla kara awa. Tokoza kombo na ona âge.
Neftali, 27 ans.
That's a slim one.
Merci. Tomoni ozaka na
Yeah, she's slim. She's not really revealing herself, like her skin. She's well covered up. If she's not one of those ones that, well, she's still got her balloon, so hopefully she's not one of those ones that, judge a man based on their height. And I hope she's not going to bring up the whole skin complexion thing. If put that to the side, she was the most calm out of all of them, so hopefully, they're fit for each other. Hopefully she keeps her balloon.
Ballon na. Olobi?
Naza retard pasola.
Oh, ok. Donc, ils ont le bani ongo pasola siko. Ok. O pasu du ballon na o po anini.
Parce que Naza déjà on connaît donc il y a 2 ans.
Because she's old.
Du coup,
She's older than him in 2 years. And she waited this long to pop the balloon. There's no hope. There's really no hope for these women.
il y a l'ingaba ça va piercing te.
Okay,
Donc,
he doesn't
il est
like
déjà
women with piercings.
Mais côté aloba qui
Fair
dépenses partagées, là ça me va. Pour na l'ingaba mobile je charge na 100%. Je suis comme ça. Mais âge na zam ko nae et puis piercing down. Pas de problème. Là ici
And obviously she said when it comes to the bills, she don't mind a man splitting the bills with her because she don't really want a man who is going to take care of everything, because she doesn't want a man who's going to take charge of her as well. And I can kind of see that now because the suit that she's wearing is a bit oversized for her. I thought that she was just probably covering up a bit more, but maybe she's just one of them tomboyish girls, isn't it? Just looking at her fashion sense, she's probably one who likes to, own the room when it comes to maybe her business. She might be working in the corporate sector, you know what I'm saying? So she might be, based on whatever job she might be doing, she might like to own the room. And it might even be that she wants to own her man too and wants to be controlling. She seems a bit controlling from when she's talking, listening to her now. And the fact that she waited to the last second to ask, oh, is it too late for me to pop my balloon? That just shows that, attention seeking, because she could have just popped it when everyone else was popping it. And she waited at this exact time where, Diamond is right next to her. That's the moment that she waited. She kept the balloon all the way to the end, just so that, to make sure that everyone listens to her and all eyes are on her. Do you get what I'm saying? She likes to be the man in a relationship. Run a mile.
Ok, merci. Aza baguna yo?
Ke aza baguna ngati.
He says she's too old. That age that she gave, she's lying. Because she looks older than what she says she is. That's what he said.
Oyo elongi ya ba 35 ans.
Jésus Christ.
He says she looks like she's about 35, and I think she says she's about 20, probably 23 or something like that. And she said, Jesus Christ, She didn't expect that. But I can't see what he sees. Obviously, the angle that I have is not very great, is it? But I trust that he's being honest, from what he sees that's in front of him. Maybe the makeup is making her look older. Oh yeah, that's the one that said that she don't really wear makeup, and this is one of the first days that she's putting on makeup. So maybe the makeup added on a few years, So I don't know why she's acting surprised by saying Jesus Christ. Maybe he's right, because everyone else seems to be laughing, so there must be some truth in that.
Aussi non ajuan eza lokuta. Deuxième azano na persi okenga na lingarate. C'est ça.
Oh, ezali poneo?
Bonjour madame.
Bonjour. Tokoki kozwa kombo na yo?
Maman boye minga na de mabedo bo pasoli ba lora ba pétard bo eza bonane ou comment?
Mais ça biso kombo na yo.
OK, je reprends nom de Elias Mbavo.
Elias Suzanne Agini.
Là dans 31 ans.
Et puis au salani na vie.
Bon, on a travaillé dans le domaine et à hôtellerie nasa serveur. Et à part ça, je suis chanteur musicien, je chante à l'église aussi.
Oh, moyembi na église.
Oui, oui.
Ah, c'est bien. Na temps libre na yo au passaron rosa nini.
En tout.
You see, these women don't like church guys, Man said he sings in the church. Pow, 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 pow. I'm trying to think, what's wrong with people who perform in church? Now, what could possibly be wrong with a man who sings in the church? To the point where the women are popping, like, they don't even want to hear the rest of the words that you gotta say. They just don't like God. These women don't like God, and that's just what it is. They hate God.
God, déjà, j'ai un peu...
But then if you was to ask them, they'll be like, yeah, what religion are you? They'll be like, yeah, I'm Christian. But yeah, a Christian man comes up on a panel and you lot are not even trying to hear him out. I understand if you pop later on, but you're popping from the very moment that he says that he's serving God in a way in church. That is crazy.
Okay. So he's always working, he's always busy.
Either singing or he's online. Trying to learn something.
Déjà, beaucoup va te mêler parce qu'il faut focaliser à l'aspect physique. Alors que pas moi si c'est pas l'aspect physique. Moi c'est ça mon tout. Moi si on a réfléchir, moi si on a comment défendre mon bal na yeso ngana zate, je sais que non il y a ma femme qui est là pour défendre et non une femme qui sera une vendeuse de rêve au fait. Tu es tout le temps au téléphone sur TikTok
pas la ngabo raté.
Merci. Sikoyo yebisa ngai ba défaut oyo lingara kutate tangozo yebana na mwana mwasi.
Déjà moi la mwasi a trop de timidité. Moi la mwasi il faut s'exprimer, faut le bas. Pas dans le mal, faut être réservé en fait, pas que tu parles beaucoup aux impolis. Moi la moi si on est pas se défendre même devant banderona parce que ceux qui ont yebiko le baté belle famille na yo ba kosaka na yo donc moi si vous avez la capacité à le et puis tu es fort d'esprit quoi. C'est ça une femme.
OK, merci. Toya awa toyeba poni ni ba passer ba balona ba landanga awa boy. Kombo na yo na âge.
Mais
le Malisa, j'ai 22 ans.
Merci, au passer le ballon poni.
Bon, on n'a pas sur les ballons parce que déjà, à bien frère et église, à l'ingabafti, bah, tout le temps sur TikTok. Moi, je suis artiste, donc plus mon temps, je le passe sur TikTok. À frère et église, ngama comme ça, la cana TikTok, ça m'a m'habité, mais avec frère église et cocolété. C'est un peu ça, bisous sur tout ça, mais la caméra.
That sounds so confusing. Like she's saying she's always on TikTok, she's an artist. She's doing her thing on TikTok, but I popped because you are a man of the faith. You're someone who performs in the church, who serves God. But I'm on TikTok. By the way, what I do on TikTok is nothing bad, but, we all pray, but it just doesn't fall in line with what you're doing at church. Listen. What side are you on? Like, what are you doing on TikTok? What sort of music are you doing on TikTok? Why is it going to be something that's not in line with what someone in church is doing? That just means what you're doing on TikTok is not godly. Do you get it? Just be straightforward and just be like, look, no, what I'm doing on TikTok is not godly. You know, I'm not on that side. This, and the fact that she's like, oh yeah, we all pray. To what God? You know, like, stop playing around, man. This is what I mean about these people. Like, these are the sort of people that need to actually decide. Pick your side. Like, pick a side. Which side are you gonna be on? Are you gonna be on TikTok doing, doing up, being an artist, entertaining the other side? You know, if you're gonna do that, then fair enough. But don't be trying to say to my man here that who's trying to serve God in church, you're trying to say you're trying to say to him, we all pray. We don't all pray to the same God because you're serving Satan. That's what you're doing.
C'est pas respectable en tout cas.
Au salani na TikTok.
Je suis artiste. Je fais des publicités à la maison, techno, téléphone. À part ça, des humours, gags, tout ça.
Ok, merci.
Et collègue, parce que ça trop mon pagan, ça trop charnel, on trop charnel. T'es déjà quand tu la vois, elle est trop charnel. Donc, n'a pas ici TikTok.
Yo, I have to rewind this. I don't know this guy's name, but that response that he just gave was perfect.
Bon, on n'a pas soli Ballon parce que déjà, à bien frère et église, à l'ingla bafti baza tout le temps sur TikTok T. Moi, je suis artiste, donc plus mon temps, je le passe sur TikTok. À frère et église, ngama comme ça la cana TikTok, ça m'a mabé mais avec frère église et cocolé T. C'est un peu ça, bisono surtout ça, mais la caméra, c'est pas respectable en tout cas.
Au salani na TikTok.
Je suis artiste. Je fais des publicités à la maison, techno, téléphone, à part ça, des humours, gags, tout ça.
Ok, merci.
Et collègue, parce que ça trop mon pagan, ça trop charnel, on trop charnel. T'es déjà quand tu la vois, elle est trop charnel. Donc, n'a pas ici.
Exactly. What you just said there, you're too carnal. You're too carnal minded. Oh, God bless this man. What's his name? God bless this man. He has discernment to straight away see that this woman, you're too carnal. Oh my days, please, Father God, bless this man. I pray he does very well in whatever he's trying to do. I pray he becomes a very successful man, because the way he just said it so casually, yeah, man, God bless him. Like, this is the sort of men that we need, you know, who are ready to tell these women that, listen, I'm not even trying to get near you. You seem too carnal. Like, what? How can you think like this?
TikTok, comme ça, la TikTok, ils ont ma bête, ils ont bien. Mais tant qu'on commis vendeuse de rêves, on a des aussi, bah, t'es pour un hasard, vendeuse de rêves, t'es. Donc, ils aussi, bah, t'es, donc, voilà.
Ok.
On a parlé d'une vendeuse de rêves, t'es. Les années, c'est mon salaire, nanga. Si on a stade, peut-être, dans un contrôle, c'est la maison, il y a téléphone, publicité, on va me payer. Ils ont qu'à vendre rêves, t'es.
On a peine à faire la TikTok, maman. Parce qu'il y a bien beaucoup mieux que ça TikTok. Comment est-ce qu'ils vont vendre la TikTok, bah, n'attends un petit peu, quoi.
Tous les caboués.
What he's saying is true, but it's one of them things where it's just not for this show. Like, the show's not ready to accept that sort of truth, you know, and that's why, hopefully, by God's grace, hopefully I end up making a show like similar to this, where people actually, you know, we spread a bit of knowledge, because what he's saying is true, but it's just not for this type of show. Do you get what I'm saying? There's just not enough time for you to break it down to this. He's really trying to tell this woman, like, look, what you're doing and how you're thinking is mad. Do you get it? But within the time frame that he has, obviously, and plus she's not ready to listen too. That's another thing with these women. They're not ready to listen. So that's probably just gone over her head, and she's looking at it as, oh yeah, this guy's, why is he talking like this to me? Don't you know I'm an artist? I'm this, I'm that. I look nice. I look and because of that, she's not gonna hear what he's trying to tell her, you know. And unfortunately, this is just what happens to a lot of the modern day women. Like, we will try and tell them things, and because of what either their pay, you know, wherever what they receiving at work, their wages, or what the society thinks of them, you know, on social media and things like that, might be at a high rate, so high that they're not going to listen to a man that's really trying to tell them something because they care about them, you know, a man of God in a way. So, yeah, I feel sorry for her, but hopefully, you know, she sits back and actually watches this and thinks about what this guy's trying to say to her within the 5 minutes that he got to speak to her.
Et puis par rapport à mon coussi, parce que yo m'a trop lui a moi 10 cm qui t'a na talon au moins la note est mort.
He's saying take off your heels, you're gonna see we're both the same
par
height.
rapport à bah style nanga, tu n'es pas mon style, mais en tout cas tu es
Not
belle.
my style.
Mais vous êtes trop manqué ma race.
Merci.
And you're too slim.
Ça va.
Marga.
Combo na yo na âge?
Na paso le ballon parce qu'elle a pembe. Âge
She's saying he's a bit bright, he's a bit light
parce que
skinned.
nga ba chrétien pembe ndena âge.
But he's the same complexion as
Nga déjà
her.
na da pembe mi bala pembe. Linga mi bala mwindi loka ba Sénégalais.
She likes the dark skins like
Merci.
the Senegals.
Ata baguna yo.
Bon. Azaba guna nga oui du côté longi mais
We
comme
are
yali na
so
pembe na habité
finished.
na kota na kata cité na goudron tondeni parce que yo moko pe oza mon bito za pembe. Ça que
Exactly, she's
changer
the
poso.
same skin complexion as
C'est que yo
him.
moko pe changer poso po o mi se pel raté posa pembe.
Vraiment, vous avez raison.
OK.
Tango nga
She's
zo mona
saying you're
oka
right,
ndenge
you're
moko
right.
me.
parce que le ballon parce qu'il y a ça bagou nangate disha na lobaki dans la ngamba na mikusete
He's not my style. I don't like short
il faut
people.
na balox faut za mulai à mettre
He's got to have hair.
donc
He's
ça bagou
got
nangate
hair, but she wants locks, plaits.
Merci.
You can always grow that if that's
so
what you
communique
want.
quelque part
Like, at least he can have hair.
moi
At
li
least he's
solo
got
ya
hair.
bolingo o bien ndengeni
Not like the other episode. Man,
So na
like
mettre détail belé mingi na sumka pona ese to sauter.
he's like, I'm not even trying to say nothing before
Non,
I
azaba
sing. Let me
gunote.
just
Na bona
let's go
sumka
to the
pona
next one.
exagérer. Na choquer vie na.
to ye aw
nalandi nyonso alobi je suis partante mais ya oyo alobaki ke azalaka trop na temps na ye kaka na mosala et puis église déjà normalement okozala na batemps nyonso to mais faut pesa mpe mwasi na yo temps donc à part wana
She's basically saying that I liked everything about him apart from the fact that he spent so much of his time just working and at church. You know, you have to have time for your woman. But he hasn't got a woman. That's why he's on the show. So I don't understand. What do you want him to say? Like, he's single, so he's telling you what he spends his time as a single man.
Ça va. Ce n'est pas dit que na pesa ba pasa batana nga nyoso kana musana parce que nazana un célibataire. So na komi na engagement na yeba ningo dispatcher na mobali.
He's basically saying, look, it's not that I spend all my time, you know, working. I'm just giving you the explanation as in the situation I'm in, the current situation I'm in right now where I'm single. And that's basically what I said. Like, what do you expect him to say? He's a single man. So he's not going to just say, oh yeah, I like to spend time with a female. You know, he's just telling you as a single man how he spends his time. And that's exactly what I thought. And that's exactly what I said as well. I don't even know how this girl came to saying this out of her mouth. Oh, she's still got a balloon. I'm surprised.
Important pour nous, c'est pourquoi. Mais question est-ce que c'est pas là pour qu'il a gardé toujours ballon.
ngana tuna yepe azali baguna yo.
Bien sûr que oui, na sepel na osa mwasi kitoko. Bien que tu as quelques défauts, mais mon tabong sera moi si isa mobali. Donc avec le temps, mobali utasala moi sa baguna ye. En tout cas, tu as des qualités là que moi c'est singeleza nango.
You have the qualities that a woman should have.
Sikoyo na tango oyo na kopesa yo opportunité botuna na ba question pona boye bana.
I'm surprised that the last one even kept the balloon.
Pona to déterminer ce qui est ali match. Au peu près qui question pona ye otunaye.
She likes the fact that
bon, je crois que n'a pas trop la question.
Looks at a woman from the inside
before the outside. Par rapport à sala nini.
Si on est en eba, soit à sala nini et ben emploi du temps c'est comment?
Commerçante.
What do you do in your spare time?
Tananga libre na nga ko pasang nandako.
She sells things online as a business.
So tozana kilt.
Spare time, she's in service at church.
On va
Or she's at home.
Déjà, Aza une femme qui est courageuse. Nga linga bashi au balukaramong. Donc, ceux qui investir pas naïe, ça montre que non, ou qu'on récupérer quelque chose. C'est pas que non, comme c'est des gens qui ont exploité, mais tu sens que ce qu'on payé opportunité en Luka.
She seems like the sort of person that I can, invest in.
Yo, la question sur son gozong c'est là.
Question Isali. Nano boko na moni sin. Je veux savoir si vous êtes marié ou fiancé parce que
On your hand, I'm
il y a
seeing
des gens qui
something. Are you married?
je sais pas, peut-être qu'il y a une relation de mususo. C'est masculin.
C'est babaga, ou tu bag.
Non.
Ah,
Have you got a ring?
OK. On va expliquer sin wana.
What's
Là,
that
c'est célibataire
sign?
en tout cas, na balaté.
Aussi voilà.
He's single,
Bon, ça
not
juste
married.
bref, là, célibataire, na
Et
balaté.
puis osa est pas na yo
Totally
chez les
single.
parents.
Je suis encore chez les parents, non, c'est préparé ma
Still live with my
avec le temps.
parents.
Osa est colonie.
Nazam ta Congo central.
Comment
What
ça
tribe are
s'appelle
you?
ko ibeli?
Mundi Bumbanza Manteke. Et bon, Yosé Colonie.
Madame Luba 100%.
Je tapais juste en tout cas. Non, mon oza rasa baluba pena. Nalinga baluba fort.
OK.
So I like your type, I like your tribe.
Naza kade, mais malheureusement, na capricieux au supporter ba caprice tanga.
Ah. Toza kande moto se supporter.
Ok.
Na sepeli na ndenge
We
zo
both
kende.
support each other. I'm surprised.
Nazo memo na lili.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie,
ya
I'm
na liboso na
surprised.
biso.
We
Ouais?
actually
OK.
have.
Yaka awa.
Let me not speak too
Totelema
soon.
awa
It
na
looks like we got a
liboso.
match.
Kopusa na montambo awa
I'm
yo telema no
so
awa
surprised.
ozano bien awa.
The way it was
Okay.
going, it was like there was
to komiti na
no
étape oyo.
hope.
OK. Bozali na mituna moko ya suka te bongi botuna entre bino mibale soki pe ezali te ngambo eza te. Boko solola air moko. Wana question suka pona ye?
Oh, c'est une question à futur. Est-ce qu'un jour, si on s'est marié, balel na mwasi na yo, et que moi, moi, je suis libanda, tout le monde m'a non bolingan, parce que, bah, mi belle bazana bas libanda. Est-ce que vous en avez idée au bal la deuxième femme?
Will you marry
Très
a
bonne
second
question.
wife later on
En tout
in
cas,
life?
on a surchargé mutu nanga te. Déjà naza na musamo na salarié surcharge nga mutu. Libota nanga le kelinga ndelu nanda ko le kisinga ndelu. Skona ko bakse surcharge musu libanda wana naza ndoke.
He's saying basically, look, I've got too much going on already at home, my family, my work. I don't even have time to end up adding on a second wife to my dilemmas, to my head. He just doesn't want to stress at the end of the day.
Vie nanga to ndenge nini. Na go mona me na legi nanga, je passe à autre chose.
I can see, but
Ouais.
I can always move on.
OK.
Je crois aussi c'est oui. Hein.
Merci. Et bongo pona yo. Jenny azali bagu ya basi oyo batiraka yo.
Te.
Wani te.
Yeah, moi, there's un poli makasi. En
He's saying she looks rude. Even though she's folding her arms, you can just tell, yeah, this one's... Stay away from her, boy. Let's talk about her ripped jeans. She's looking like she's going to be a headache.
Bien.
Ça va bien. Au change, ça va bien.
Elle bien pas l'ox na lito.
OK, merci
Apart from
Jenny.
the earring
Toya awa
and
boye,
the
Congo
hair,
na yo na
she's
âge.
saying he's alright.
J'avais 6 ans, pardon.
Au pasu li poani.
Na passé le ballon parce que
She just meant to say she was 29 and then she fixed it and said she corrected and said
Baguna
26.
yo, baguno yango yo.
bakuna te parce que poani aza mokusi mais aza kitoko.
He's too short.
Aza balox don.
Everything's fine, but he's just too
Kona
short.
mulainde aza na muti. Yona passé le ballon. En plus pas lo ba
These girls must really have loads of options, I can't lie.
Merci.
The way they're moving
Kuna yo
is like they
azali
got loads
bagu
of
ya basi
options.
olingaka.
She's
part
too
ça.
big. You're saying she's too big. But I was going to say, these women, they're moving like they got loads of options. And the maddest thing is, most of the options is coming from online. People just gassing them up, liking their pictures, leaving comments. So, just gassing them up online. But none of these people are going to take them seriously when it comes to a relationship. So when most of these women here are just cancelling the man out because they feel like the height is an issue, even though the guy's actually taller than her while she's wearing heels. So it's insane. Like, if he was to chat to her on the road, I'm pretty sure she'll have it. But because she's on a show, she's trying to move a bit prestige. She like, come on, man.
Ça, bon, azana e kitoko, azana e bien, mais iloko iza pana ye oyo e
She's nice, she's
competition ezaka
beautiful,
munene
that's what
ngani
he's
nga basi
saying.
minene penate ngani nga basi ya
But he
mike.
likes slim girls.
Po nabima munene koleka ye
Because he
ngonde bango
wants to
balinga
be,
mibali ya
bigger than the
milai.
partner, the
Ya
other
ngonga pe alinga
pot.
basi ya mike
He
po
would like to be bigger
nabima
than his
mwa munene
partner.
koleka
Do you
ye.
get what I'm saying? Same way
Senga
how they
bongo.
like taller
Merci.
guys.
Okay. Merci.
She
Toya
wants
Awaboy.
to be,
Kombo
he
na
wants
yo
to
na
be
âge?
bigger than
Naftali
his
na 7 ans.
partner.
Merci.
But
Au
the other
pasuli
one
ballon na
popped.
opoanine.
Premièrement, parce que azan balox et puis azan un
He's
pexing.
got hair, he's got his
Déjà,
piercing. I'm
nazan
not
un
feeling that.
pexing. Je cherche un homme où yako longolanga na ba pexing, yako longolanga na makambo nga nazan nango. Déjà de nation ndenge ya zabo et c'est difficile pour
This is the same girl that said she'd rather a man who doesn't split the bill with her, who splits the bill with her, because she don't want him to have control over her. She wants to be the boss of herself. That's what she said to the last man. But then to this man here, she's saying, he's got piercings and I have piercings. I don't want someone who's got the same thing that I have. I'd rather be with a man who's going to put me off what I'm currently doing, like the piercings that I have. I want to be with someone who's going to put me off it. In a way, that's a man who's taking control, who's putting you off something. So to one man, she's saying, nah, I'd rather split and no man's going to tell me what to do. And then to this time, she's saying, I want a man who's going to tell me what to do, basically. This is why you just can't win with these females. They're so confused. It's crazy.
pesanga un peu désordre, ya kolongola babiloko nga nazan nango na nzoto. Voilà. Mais il est beau, voilà, ça me va.
Ok, merci. Et bon, pona yo aza baguno?
Eloko esala bango eza complexe ya basuki na babilo ya matoi omonake okoka charge te ya mobali moboye ya kitoko ya basuki na bapiercing
You won't be able to handle a man who takes care of himself and have hair and piercings.
Non, nga pe na kena obongo te. Na keno du genre nini?
Oui.
Na expliqué très bien.
Oui.
Nga naza na ba piercing.
Oui.
Je cherche un homme qui peut m'échanger et non to kuta na nga na ito sala ndenge moko.
She just said, yeah. She just said, I'm looking for a man that's not going to be the same as me, who's going to be able to change me. But this is what I said to the last man. She said to the last man that, I'm looking for a man. I don't mind a man who wants to do 50-50 because no man will be able to change me and tell me what to do. Wow. Like, you know what? This reminds me why I do reviews on these sort of shows, on this show specifically. Because I was literally thinking, why am I doing this? But I've realized this is why I'm doing it. To just cancel out all this crap that these women and men are talking about.
Yo oseko miyebi dia ke oza poto changer mo sala ngona nko.
Oh papa, OK na musika.
Oui.
She's a headache. She's a headache.
Mibali misusu ba préférera te basi na bango bazana ba pexing. Eza pe na basi misusu ba préférera te mibali na bango bazana na ba locks na ba pexing.
Go to the next one, man. She's a headache.
Azozela. Na lingaka na futur na banda kosala ba film ba série oyo na luka mutu moko oyo tokozala ni même moral pour to encadrer en vrai pour kende bien, voilà.
She was actually right for him. If only she was a bit slimmer.
Bon, aza bien. Munene na ngona ibiti yeso mona ndenge nini. Mais ala ni pena munene te. Aza bien.
You say she's alright. She's not too big.
Elo mo ezala ki wana memo akimisi yango.
Bon, tokozong sango.
But she popped it because she heard that he wants slim women. But he's basically saying like, look, you're not even that big. So she got a balloon back.
Okay.
They suit.
Mama, osala gani?
Nateka bilamba mimbali, bilamba basi, ba chaussures basi mimbali. Mwono kiti mungongo mama
sells clothing.
Chaussures basi na mibali bilamba pe basi na mibali natekaka par commande so mtasali commande na takina sombeli na pesi.
Oh, that's nice.
Oza na question mususu ngo baksela
What do you do in your spare time? She watches series as well to get ideas.
Okay. Et bon, kasi pona yo, ngozongisila ipe ba question?
I think this is a match because she kind of does the same thing that he does in his spare time, where they watch series and films, you know, to get inspiration on future projects. And she said that she's always wanted to be, you know, acting or something along the lines. So, and he also watches things to get inspiration on, you know, future projects. So I feel like they both suit, and I feel like he's well level-headed, where he's gonna see past, you know, her figure and all that, and look inside and see that this is the woman for me because, you know, she can support what I'm doing. Do you get it? She's on the same wavelength as me. So I think, yeah, these two, it could be a match, I think.
Et est-ce que ako sepela to sala ba activité ensemble ako sepela to sala ba ide o ye azanango
Would he like to work along with me with his ideas?
Donc,
I think that's cute. He's definitely going to say yes to that. I think that's what made him like her.
Moi, cohésion mo eza na makambo na biso donc ngai nalingaka mingi kotala biloko mpona azwa baide alingaka mingi kotala biloko azwa baide en plus alingaka kosala mosala ngo ensemble donc
perfect.
C'est bon déjà.
Perfect.
D'accord. Ok. Yoza na mutuna suka pona e? So ezate mabe peza na wote.
Nga pena mutuna muso ezate.
Okay.
No, that's what a man loves. Someone who can
pona bino
join in with his
pona ndeko na biso
ideas,
Elvis.
and she seems like someone that will definitely join in with his ideas.
Oui. Merci. Et puis pona yo ndeko Elvis, pona ndeko na biso mwasi ezali oui ou non?
Oui.
Oui.
Et Sylvie!
Like towards the end, I was a bit surprised. You know, I thought it was just going to be a terrible episode where there's going to be no matches. But I was surprised towards the end, you know, to get to see the two matches, especially the one at the end where they actually perfectly suited each other. You know, I think they both had children. They both were willing to be in a relationship, start a relationship with someone who has a child, which I think is kind of, you know, is refreshing. And even better, the woman was ready to support him with his ideas, and they both matched, you know, in the terms of the career and things like that. So I just feel like they were a perfect match. But I would say I feel like she probably wasn't really his type, like physically, but he was willing to look past that because he could clearly see that she's respectful, she's polite, and most importantly, she was willing to support him on his dream. And I think that's great. That's love. That's real love right there. And that just goes to show us, you know, as men, that bottom line is most of us just want someone who's able to support us. And as women as well, you have to sometimes, like herself, I don't know whether because she's got a child of her own, whether that played a part in it, but you have to be able to look past maybe a man who already got one child. You know, you have to be able to look past that, obviously ask the right questions. And most importantly, I didn't really hear her ask about how much do you earn or things like that. She was more looking at what can I help him with. And it was just so satisfying to see that they both were in the same wavelength when it comes to their ideas and their visions and things like that. And I feel like that's very important. So even though I was like, at the start, I was like, why am I doing these sort of reviews, reactions to these videos? I kind of see it now, you know. There's definitely a meaning behind these shows. And I feel like this show specifically, these two people, they reminded us even that, you know, it's not always about how much do you earn, but it's about, are we compatible? As in, she's basically saying to him like, look, after 6 months, I don't want to be wasting time, you know, I want to get to the next step, get to the next level. And everyone else was saying that he was short, but she looked past that even, you know, she looked past his skin complexion, and she was more focused on, you know what, you have these ideas, can you share them with me? Can we build together? And I feel like that's very important when it comes to starting a relationship with someone. You know, my name's Forever Blessed Chris, and this has been Chris Speaks Reactions. Make sure you press the like button and subscribe if it's your first time seeing me today. And I'll see you lot on the next video. Thank God this is only once every 2 weeks, because some of these people, they've given me a headache. But you just make sure you press the like button. You know, it helps with the algorithms. And, you know, in a way it makes me feel like, you know what, these sort of videos is needed, you know. So I'll see you lot on the next video. God bless you.